So if there was ever a company that I just appreciated for no other reason but the fact they just simply make good products, in my opinion, it would be Arturia. And, I know you have people that, from different ends of the spectrum that have their opinions on analog emulation and hardware emulation and all that good stuff. I'm one of those people that just thinks if it sounds good, then buy it. If you have the bread to do it, or if you're patient and you can get it at a good price point. But if there was a software company that I recommend to get some good sounds that's really, 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 really diverse, it would be Arturia. And here's why. Arturia just released, Synthx V or Synthx 5, however you want to call it. And it's basically an emulation of the Elka Synthx with some extra features. And so the Elka, if I'm not mistaken, is an Italian subtractive analog synthesizer. And so they've taken this and basically, you know, figured out how to get the hardware to work and, replicated it in their own ecosystem. And I've listened to a couple of demos last night as of this recording, and I thought they sounded pretty good for what they were. How they compare to the original Elka, I can't say because I haven't listened to an original Elka. And quite frankly, I feel like that's just a waste of time because if you really want to keep it a buck and just be honest, if you had an original Elka and you compared it with another original Elka, I promise you that both Elkas probably wouldn't sound the exact same just because of the differences in the oscillators and how that stuff changes over time because it gets old and it ages, blah, 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 blah. So, in my humble jackleg opinion, I don't think that should be the point that you should focus on. I think you should focus on if it sounds good, can you use it, and so forth, so forth. Now, $200 is very steep. So I'm not going to lie to you about that. $200 if you haven't purchased a Arteria based product before and now you're looking at the upgrade and you're like, or not looking at the upgrade and you're looking at buying this, I would say hold off and wait until it comes on sale. That's my 2 cents. But if you are someone who has already, purchased a few products from Arteria as of recent, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this product is like 69 bucks. So if you already have like the V collection, older version, you should be all set to upgrade for a significantly cheaper price. In my case, like I said, it came up for about 69 bucks. Also, this would be the time if you were on the fence about upgrading your Arteria license because, sometimes their price points can be tricky when it comes to the upgrade cycle, meaning that, you know, they can come out with a new version of their whole analog collection. And sometimes to make that jump from one point to the next can still be a little steep, even with the offer and whatnot, if you're a user. But again, if you've already had this synth, or not this synth, if you already had like the product, sometimes like you will wait a couple cycles and then it's like, all right, they'll get the price to a decent point. And for me, again, when I logged in, I think the price point was like a buck 69, which isn't bad. Isn't bad at all. I'm going to show you why. And then again, you can make your own decisions because you're all assuming you're all adults. So let's take a look. Let's go back. I went too far. Go to the products. Go to the software instruments. And let's go here. So what do you get when you buy the V Collection X? Let's click down. We already know all the stuff, right? I don't really want to read all of that. And you guys can read it. But at this point, if you haven't made the jump, you get the Mini Freak, which I kind of want to play with the Mini Freak. I'm going to hold off on the innuendos. But the Mini Freak is, in my opinion, pretty decent. You get the Acid V, which is, TB303. Pretty good. CP70, which is a very nice electric piano. You get augmented grand, augmented brass, and augmented woodwinds. I play with the augmented voices, and some of those I think I may even have reviewed them on my channel. But yeah, so these would be, if you haven't upgraded at this point, this would all be new. I think in my case, because I don't necessarily always do the upgrade immediately on every cycle, you get quite a few instruments, additional instruments. So depending on which version you have, you would at least get 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 instruments, and you'd get the new Elka synth, and that would all be for the price of about $160. And that's just coming from like the last time I upgraded was 2022. So, and maybe you're in that same time frame, and if you are, this would be the ideal time to jump on that upgrade. Of course, you want to check all your stuff and go from there. But again, if you haven't done so, this may be the ideal time. I don't have anything negative to say about the Elka synth. I kind of wish I had a real one, just because I would make all sorts of strange music with it, but I'm going to make strange music anyway, because that's what I do. Let me know your thoughts about the Elka synth in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I'm Tim Keys. I'm out. Peace.